The Deacons of the Deep. For many, it's a very divisive boss, namely because they're kind of a bunch of pushovers, but I actually kind of like the Deacons because they're very fun to beat up. Unfortunately, that's really it. As with many things in Dark Souls 3, I can't help but feel like what could have been completely overshadows what we actually got. In regards to the Deacons of the Deep, my main grievance is that the first phase is way too boring, the second phase is cooler but doesn't last long enough to really show it off, and the third thing is just that there's not really that many Deacons in the Cathedral of the Deep. So I was thinking, if I could change something, what would I change? And I think what I would do is, I would change how the possessed Deacon in the first phase of the Deacon's boss fight behaves. I'm assuming that the red soul is something to do with Archdeacon Royce, but maybe it could be something else, something that's also deep related. Perhaps the Deacon that gets possessed could turn into a deep accursed, or at least partly turn into one. Maybe they begin to resemble the deep accursed, maybe they get taller, lankier, they grow fur, they hunch over, they have a crazed looking face, and they begin to hobble around and be a little more rabid. Or maybe the possessed Deacon begins to resemble a merkman. What little we know about them is that they are related to the deep, so maybe they begin to develop crystals, coral-looking features, seaweed. They begin to look kind of rocky and shiny. Their face develops a cavity. Just something to spice it up a little bit, Their moveset would change, maybe they get more health, but then again, there's the issue of just how many times a Deacon gets possessed. In the course of the first phase of the Deacon's boss fight, a Deacon probably gets possessed like 20 times. So if there was this long transformation animation and they were more unique, you'd probably have to tone down the overall number of times a Deacon gets possessed. But if it means making the first phase of the fight more interesting, I'd be down for it. Or maybe there could be something we haven't seen yet. The Deep is described as kind of like an ocean, so maybe there could be some more water-themed attacks. Whatever way you slice it, I just want the Deacons to be cool, so these are some of the ideas that I had. I can talk about this game a lot, and there's a very real chance that I might do the same thing with the Deacons again, or maybe something else. I don't know. We'll see.
I'm a Deacon of the Deep. I worship a big bowl of soup. My head likes to glow sometimes. Oh no, you're killing me.